Hello guys, welcome back to Data Forge by Piyush. So today we are going to learn some new commands in DataFrame PySpark, that is with column and with column rename. As you know, we have learned different kinds of join, filter, operators in data frames, where we majorly working with this data of the data frames. We were interested on this data side, the student name, marks, English marks, IDs and all. So we all were playing around this data side. We never discussed on this schema that is column name of the data frame. But today we are going to learn more on schema of the data frame. We are going to change, we are going to update, we are going to rename the schema of the data frame. So let's go ahead and learn those commands which are used majorly and basically for your data frame schema. So first was with column. As I told, as we can see that we have these 4 columns in the data frame. When you display this data frame, you again will get these 4 columns only. Next time you want some extra columns in your this existing data frames. So are you going to change this file which was the origin of this data frame? If this is possible, it is okay, but mostly this is not recommended. Why? Because updating this raw data is never recommended. This is your source of truth and you should not update this or change this student marks file. While if you need any extra column in your data frame, then you should handle this from your Databricks itself. So we will write the command for that, and that is syntax for that is df equal to df dot with column, because with column means one extra column. And what will be the column name we are going to give? New column. This is the naming convention of your new column addition. Now you have to give some values, otherwise it will come as a null. If you want to populate it as a null, put it null, but if not, then we can add some extra things means we can get it as a total of this both marks. This is the mathematics marks, this is the English marks, but what is the total of this marks? So we can add we are going to use the same arithmetic operator which we learned in our past videos. So what we are going to give the value to this new column, that is df dot maths marks plus df dot English marks. So this is, I am going to generate a new column with the addition of this 2 marks. Let me execute this and display. See, this is the same data frame which we displayed in our, this is the same data frame df which we displayed in our start of this video, and this is the data frame now. Now you can see it has 5 columns. The last column is the addition of this mathematics and English marks. Now we have 5 columns. Earlier we had only 4 columns into data frame. You can see this is how you can add some extra columns whenever required, based on some calculation or based on some static or some constant values for your requirement. You can add this new columns like this. Now you can see we have column names like student ID, student name, mathematics marks, English marks in new column. These are the 5 columns. We have changed completely the schema of your data frame by adding this last column. But later on you realized that this is not a good column name. Good column name means it is not giving some significant or some you that where it actually belongs or what it actually indicates, right? It is not looking good. Later on you realize it. So what you can do, you can update the column name itself. And what is the query for that? What is the syntax to update the column name? Let me write it. df equal to df dot with column rename. So which column we are going to give? New column. New column, we don't want to see it like this. We want to see it as a total marks and display this data frame. So we can see the results now. Earlier we had this 4 columns plus this extra column which is new column. But now instead of this new column we had a column named total marks. While the original data value which is 175, 187, 175, 187, they are constant. They are not going to change. So this is how you can rename your column itself. You did not like the column name, you did not like this mathematics marks column name, rename this. You can rename it like a maths marks or mathematics marks, only marks, whatever you want. So this is the use case of your with column and with column renamed command. Now as a next scenario, you realized you does not require this total marks columns anymore. Then you can, and you want to remove this. How you can remove this column from your existing schema? You realized you only want this 4 columns, or you want this total marks column and you don't want this mathematics marks and English marks column. So you can basically drop those columns. How you can drop the unnecessary columns from your data frame? By using this query. Let me write the syntax. df.drop and give a list of columns. What columns you want to drop? Maths marks and English marks. So these 2 columns you don't want to see in your data frame because you have enough data: student ID, student name and total marks. You don't want to see this English marks and maths marks column. Then you can drop it. This is done. Now you can display your data frame. So this is the result. See, this is how we have received the next schema of our data frame. Now we only have this 3 required column, that is student ID, student name and total marks. We have dropped this mathematics marks and English marks completely from the Databricks and stored that into same data frame and displaying this. Now this is our final data frame. When we started our video, we had this our data frame: student ID, name, mathematics marks and English marks. Later on, with this with column command, we added another column called new column by taking a sum of maths and English, which is the summation of these 2 marks. Later on you realized the column name does not look good. You renamed it. You replace that name with the total marks. Now your new column is looking like total marks. Later on, at a later stage, you realize you does not require this mathematics marks and English marks column. You have dropped those. So your final data frame looks like this: student ID, student name and total marks. So this is how you can change the schema of your table, by adding or by dropping the columns, or you can rename the column name itself by keeping your source file as it is. You does not require to change anything on your source file, on your original file. You can directly change the things on your data frame with these above commands.